The last video was about modes of observation, how to observe evidence. This video is about epistemology, what to make of the evidence being observed. In Figure 16b, I show both the DIKW pyramid and what I call the DIMP model from data to persuasion. Wisdom and persuasion are the only parts of these models that are not subjects of epistemology. Both models have the first two layers in common, data and information. Those are the two main categories in my epistemology. Figure 37a is the main data category of evidence. We'll expand a superset to show subsets. Most data reveals some facts, which makes this a broad subcategory. Facts are declarative, but data is broader than facts. Non-declarative goals are not matters of fact, but still fall under the category of data because all messages are revealed in the form of data. Instructions are more imperative than goal statements. The only thing factual about these two prescriptive subcategories is the existence of a message in both cases. Those messages are data. The rest of the subcategories are descriptive. Anything we physically observe is data. What observations and facts have in common is information from experience. This intersection includes illusions, which could lead to more abstract delusions. Data from delusions are confined to the mind which they originate in. All messages come in the form of data. We call whatever messages we get from observing data evidence. But not all messages are accurate. When the message is factual, we call it true. When it's not accurate, we call it false. When we're certain of the implications of data, what it means, we call that information knowledge. When the data only represents real data, as in a photograph, it's a willful illusion. We know that the data forming the image is not the actual thing it represents. It's abstract data. The last most abstract form of data is the concept of proof. This is data that intersects both truth and knowledge. Now let's dive deeper into the other main category of data, information. Think of information as deliberately processed data into messages. You can call information a subset of data. Figure 37b is exclusively about that processed data in its refined informational form. Figure 37b is not as complex as Figure 37a, and it's a little more symmetrical. We'll move aside our two prescriptive forms of data to make room for that symmetry. The most important quality of any piece of information is how believable it is. But I should point out that disbelief is not the same as uncertainty, which is not a form of information. A belief has polar opposite effects on true and false information. Uncertainty has no effect. When information is true, it intersects with belief in the form of either a correct belief or an incorrect disbelief. When information is false, the intersection is a polar opposite, incorrect belief or correct disbelief. That's four possible forms of belief. When the belief is accurate, it's confirming knowledge of truth or contrary knowledge of falsehood. In both intersections, faith works the same way regardless of the accuracy of the belief. We can't call it knowledge until the accuracy is confirmed. The epistemology of evidence serves as a foropter, correcting our understanding of what it means to know, in contrast to merely believing information is true or false. It's especially important in analyzing the difference between science and art. The latter sometimes relies on suspension of disbelief. The next video addresses what I call the ultimate expression of art and its polar opposite. I hope you are looking forward to it. Please leave critical and constructive feedback in the comments. Thanks for watching.